Well, there was some heavy stuff, right? Did you guys enjoy that? Of course you did. Who doesn't love a history lesson on a Saturday night, right, guys? Anyway, I'm your host for the evening. I mean, one of the hosts. My name is Sazzad, which apparently no one from your country can pronounce. So I tell people my other name, which is Irman, which only half of you can pronounce. Yeah, so when I was asked by my seniors to perform here today, I told them that I have severe social anxiety and stage fright, so they made me the host. It's especially challenging because I have a cracked voice because I caught a cold very recently, so that's... I'm just kidding. I just wanted to sound like Arif Jr. At least, I mean, that guy didn't have to dodge a bullet, so... So anyway, in all seriousness, this is my first time hosting and trying comedy like ever in my life. So yeah. So if you don't laugh, you're the racist. But I'm a responsible person, so I'll try my best to give you the best show that you paid for, which is nothing. Then again, in all seriousness, if I had to host somewhere, if I had to start somewhere, it definitely be Wyoming. This place reminds me so much of home. I mean, every time I tell people where I'm from or where I'm residing right now, their first reaction is it close to Wakanda? It might be. But people don't understand that coming here wasn't my first choice. Like, when I landed at JFK, I asked a lady, like a local New Yorker, for directions, and she just told me to get lost. So. Anyway, we got a packed lineup tonight. We have music, dance, culture, basically everything our professors wish we worked so hard for in class. And our next performance, what is the next performance? Yeah. So our next performance was supposed to be the first of its kind. We wanted to demonstrate the act of juggling eggs, basically. It's a cultural thing. But when we went to buy the eggs, they were put on the auction alongside gold bars and like kidney transplants and stuff. So we had to settle for something cheap, something that we're very familiar with in Bangladesh, which is child labor, of course. So presenting you a very special performance from the youngsters of Yuda Bangladesh community. Please welcome them with a big round of applause. Well, that was incredible, wasn't it? Let's show them some love one more time. So it's great to see you all again, and for those of you who just walked in, welcome. Thank you for paying tribute to our sacred tradition of never showing up on time. So I'm an economics student here at the university, which means I understand how broke I am on a theoretical level. Last time I checked my savings account, the balance just read thoughts and prayers. So. Speaking of students, you can always tell who's an American student and who's an international student in grad school. Like, by the time they complete their PhD, the average American student just turns 25. And the average international student carpools with their grandkids to school. Now, when I first came here, people would tell me jokes about this place. One of them was, what's the difference between Laramie and yogurt? Anybody knows? No? Really? Oh. So the joke is, what's the difference between Laramie and yogurt is that yogurt has an active living culture. Yeah. Another one was, I think, the highest population in Wyoming at any given moment is on the I-80. But this felt nothing compared to when I came across this subreddit on the internet called Wyoming Doesn't Exist, where people from all across the country post their conspiracy theories why the state of Wyoming is a simulation project made up by the government, and the people living in it are just video game characters. And it's a real place, by the way. If you don't believe me, you can look it up. Now, as a student at the university, of course, I felt really sad about it. until one Sunday evening in July at 6 p.m., I decided to take a walk across Laramie. I walked for 3 hours without seeing a single human being, so they may be onto something. Anyhow, for our next performance, it is my honor to welcome two of our esteemed and lasting friends and collaborators from Milap, the Indian community at UW, Professor Devashish Dutt and Ms. Navneeta Rai. Let's give it up for them. Welcome back. Was that fun? It's great. Actually, I see some professors in the audience. Shout out to our professors, whoever you are. I love my professors. I mean, they give us real-world examples in class and prepare us for the real deal. So that's awesome. Except we live in Laramie. The real world doesn't even know we exist. So. I mean, statistically speaking, this place has more horses than career opportunities. But honestly, I love how diverse this audience is. I see people from all different backgrounds, all different cultures, including some engineering students. I have some friends from engineering, which means you guys haven't seen the sunlight in 3 months, so welcome guys. Speaking of diversity, and this is serious, I never knew that I'm Asian until I came to the States and filled out those forms. Like I had to tick a box and the only option I had was Asian. Like I never saw anybody calling like a Mid Eastern or Arab or European person an Asian, although we all technically live on the same tectonic continental plate. Like I don't understand. Putting me and an Asian guy in the same box is like putting a potato and a sushi on the same plate and calling it pushy. I said pushy, you dirty sick. Up next we have one of our newest additions this year, the fusion dance by our Huda Bangladesh boys. Please give it up for them. Okay, hello again. Hope you folks are having a good time. Well, if you're not having a good time, just pretend that you're at a lecture. So the key is to nod and look interested while zoning out. I've mastered that ability by now. I have some of my classmates here. Okay. So I want to share some of the cultural shocks that I experienced when I came to the States. Health insurance was an obvious one. Like the other day, I saw a guy getting hit by a car, and his first response was to check his insurance app to see if it's worth living. Yeah, but this is an old one. I think, so there is another cultural aspect that I'm more fascinated with, and that's your last names. So where I come from, parents spend less time being pregnant and more time naming their children in a way that nobody can pronounce. Case in point. Yeah. And then all our names have meanings as well. Like we spend so much time in school explaining the significance of our names rather than like learning what Shakespeare meant in his made up words and so on. So, but you guys name your children after your ancestral professions, which is weird. Like it's so ironic because it has no resemblance to the zero. I've seen guys named carpenters who can assemble an IKEA chair, bakers who burns water, hunters who are vegan activists, and smiths who just keep telling people to keep their wife's name out of their fucking mouth. Ironic. Up next, we have a romantic dance performance by one of our beloved couples in our BSA community, Shagor and Happy. Please join me in giving them a warm welcome. Terrific, right? This was one of our staples for tonight, of course. So the important question: did you guys miss me? Good. If you haven't missed me, by the way, they exist that way. There are 3 exits. So I want to talk about another cultural aspect. So one of the more common societal norms we are known for in the West is our arranged marriage. If you're not initiated, this is basically one of our proud traditions where weddings are less about romance and more about mergers and acquisitions, essentially. It's like it's a joint venture with specific business goals where you have to produce a set number of children who grow up to be doctors and engineers, preferably before your grandma dies of disappointment. Yes. Speaking of children, when couples conceive these days, we say that we are pregnant rather than she is pregnant. This is pretty universal to show support to our spouse and love each other, of course. But in Bangladesh, people literally get pregnant together. For some reason, when the wife conceives, the husband gains 40 pounds overnight. Now, I don't know the science behind it, but after 9 months, they both deliver together. So the wife delivers the baby, the husband delivers a dad bod with double chins. Yeah, so anyway, it's time for our next performance where three of our super talented dance groups are gonna put on a show. So let's hear it for them.